anonymous. Stamps and stencils and addiction that doesn't hurt. Paper and ink, that's where my heart is. You do you, but I can't resist this. I'm a Stampers Anonymous.
Well, good morning, everyone. Here we are at our first 2026 curation. So happy New Year to everybody. I hope everyone's had a wonderful holiday season. Trev, how was your holiday season?
It was great.
I feel like I got a neck piece working here like on a plane when I'm sleeping, but it does, it's better than on top of my head where it's slipping and sliding. Today, both kids are here. Katie's manning all the posts and so forth. She's the brand new licensed attorney. So for all who've been following us, we know that the last time she was worried about passing the bar, had just passed, got sworn in. We were at a trade show in Texas, so I got on a flight Monday morning and flew home to see her get sworn in, and then flew back to Texas and then drove home. So what a trip that was. Kind of the funny life of the Stampers Anonymous crew. Trev, I see you got your best Carhartt plaid on.
Exactly.
We're both wearing them today. Yeah, I didn't even know. There we go.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
Well, it's a time of love and laughter, and we can't have more love than our guys Tim and Mario here. What a week it's been for Tim. It's his birthday week, so hopefully he's with us. I can't follow the chat like he does, but he and Mario have been working on celebrating a long standing tradition of their birthday. This year, no Disney, from what I'm being told. I talked to him during the week, and but yet enjoyed his birthday and so forth. So happy belated birthday!
Happy birthday!
Although we did talk throughout the birthday time. Cameras up here, of course. I keep forgetting to look. Matt, thanks so much. Made me a sign and everything. If you could see all the things that I've got here to remind me of all these things, and yet I could still mess this up. But we're so excited to bring you many more of the Stampers Anonymous, specifically Tim Holtz stamps that have been memorable. Many of them, we're starting into the new next launch numbers where people may or may not have any of these. These are some 18-year-old stamp sets to 15, 16-year-old stamp sets. And we've had a joy remaking them. They still sell all the time, but this time it allows us to go back on the first 100 and make them the new way, which was at 100. Tim said, could you print on the back of the cushion? And I said, no one's ever done that. And there's a reason why. But we, with Tim's encouragement and good fortune from a lot of great vendors and staff here, we're able to make that happen. And now we've been doing it for, more than a decade already. So good morning to Tim, good morning to Mario, great shout out and a good morning to all our makers. This has been amazingly a busy time for them during the holidays, so we're very, very appreciative that you took the time out during your holidays to join us and make these things for this release. We've got some for the next release of curations in a couple of short weeks. It'll actually be a month or so. For the Easter one, we're going to be having some other new things that are going to be coming along. So constantly trying to spice this up. This one's been really spiced up with all these great decorations and so forth. Matt was out at the dollar store, and Trev's been digging around in the archives of the house trying to find all kinds of hearts and things. So I guess if I go this way, I've got a heart right in the middle of my forehead.
We'll move you over.
There you go. It almost looks like I've got hair again, but maybe not so much. But we like to say good morning to, again, Tim, Mario, all the makers, and a great staff that we have, many of which are here today working to make sure orders are taken care of. Matt, who saves the day always and makes his video go so nicely and is taking care of making sure those are being done to your pleasure. And then, of course, Katie, who's going to be doing all the links today because Rhonda's off down in Florida. It's her daughter's shower, so she's a busy lady today, can't be with us. And Tom took out of his Boy Scout camp out this morning. He came back to town, is taking care of launching all the products on the website, and then back off to Winter Wonderland to freeze a little bit. Yeah, so maybe he's probably happy to be here in the warmth.
He gets to trade spots with best boy Will.
And Will is not with us because both of them are Eagle Scouts. One has an Eagle Scout that might be a little tarnished and old because, of course, Tom's got about my age, whereas Will is about Trevor's age. So one's about 40 years difference in time. But let's get to the fun of the great makes, because no one's here to watch me jibber jabber along. So we thank you all for being with us, and we hope that you all had a holiday season that was full of family love and warmth, and we'll have a great 2026 for the new year. Trev, what do we got for the first ones?
First, let's talk about our makers, because I've got the slide.
We've got the slider right there. Yeah, we've got a little scope here. Matt puts together so many nice little things. The makers are all listed on our website, and you can go to the site and launch right to their blogs or their Instagram accounts or what have you, because that's the spot where you'll find even more pull-out directions and so forth of each one of the makes, probably some great photography of the makes, potentially some videos of the makes and so forth. So that's always there on the site. And if you're not on our newsletter, when you're on the site today, go ahead and sign up for that newsletter, because that'll give you a reminder of what's happening, what's coming, random specials and sales and things of that nature. So did I miss anything so far, Trevor, Matt?
I think we're doing great.
We're good now. All right.
On
so here
to
we
our
go.
holiday makes.
Holiday makes. So the first one is a clear set. It's a classic set, and it is classic set number 8. One of the Stampers Anonymous sets that was originally drawn by a few different artists, and Tim had done so much to help curate the ones that we like the best into sets, and hence his contribution was so much with his keen eye for great art. And this is our love set that we have. It's a great set made, of course, of the red rubber and alike, indexed on the back, and so forth. But we've got some amazing makes. That's the black and white version of that. But obviously in the bottom corner is the names of everyone who's made it. Jeanette made us a great card that was fantastic, as always. Latifa has made a tag and that we can use. Zoe from Italy, who has been dealing with many things over this last few months. So Zoe, thank you so much for being with us. Our dear friend Tammy and Disney fanatic also has had some time with some family situations that are keeping her busy. Cassie, that's our Cleveland young lady, who we just love and find near and dear to our heart. Tammy's made some great little centerpieces and so forth, but it just really shows all the different ways to use the different elements in these sets that you can curate as you like to do the different things.
I just love seeing these classic images used again with our new techniques. It's so pretty to see the images rejuvenated.
Especially when you think about how long it's been since and how many new items are out there: paints, stains, glazes, sprays, alcohol inks. You know, when this all started, Tim had the 6 colors of the stress inks, and
this was even before that.
They were before that. They were originally wood stamps from Stampers Anonymous, and obviously Ginny Smallenberg Carter did all the curating, and she's always been the eye behind Stampers Anonymous 20-some years back and so forth. We've got then our next set, which started out obviously on a white set, and now it is a clear set. Tim had such an eye for finding different things. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, these came from a wallpaper swatch that he then dressed up to make into an amazing stamp. So obviously now you can stamp right through it because you've got it almost like a clear stamp where it's so tightly trimmed on the red rubber and the index is on the back, rather than here, these just had a little mark on the back that said Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous. And on this one, we have a make that was provided to us. When that slides up here, we'll see that one. Got a couple different versions of it that we use in different things. This has got the Vogue COM on the front, and this one's got our urban tattoo, Trev?
That is correct.
Urban tattoo Latifa used. And then, of course, Susie has made it into just a beautiful little piece that's got some intricate use of the background.
Who doesn't love a good background? Correct.
Yep. And Sharon, of course, has got another version of that. And then, of course, I only have one here because we've got the other ones in other spots. But it is just amazing how and where they utilize the cards together and the different elements of what we have. Set number 82, CMS, cling mounted set. Started out being a white one too. It's because it's below 100. And then we've got it now the new way. And then it, of course, the deep etched red rubber. It allows you to really position. And again, this set was probably, this is probably 16, 17 years old. So likely many of us don't have it, but it can be used in so many different ways to use all the new products that are out there that Tim has blessed us with the help of Ranger and Sizzix and Advantis, to make a true family of brands, even throwing in Free Spirit. Now with the fabric and the like, I've seen things done. Obviously, oftentimes Rochelle Christensen out in California, a dear friend, has always used many, many different things that are using the fabric and stitching, along with so many other folks in the crew that like to sew, and every once in a while even Tim will give it a go with sewing and so forth. The stitching, the hand stitching and or the machine stitching around it, just really enhances it and just makes it gorgeous. I love this one with the Sizzix die on there. Barbara, it's beautiful. Perfecto, I think, is an Italian. We'll go that way. That's perfecto. That's my, Chef Boyardee comes from Cleveland, Ohio. Our first famous chef long before Michael Simon, and it was just his anniversary from the 50s when he was on TV for his first commercial with ravioli and all of those wonderful things. But just look at the different styles of different usages and so forth. And then here we've got, there we go. Get my claws out of there. But what a great way to do these things. Many of these cards will be on the show that we'll be having. Shows coming up, we'll go over in a little bit, but on the displays and so forth, we're on the road in Florida, in the Tampa, Clearwater area. February 7th is our first one. So you can see these in person. Oftentimes people just love seeing them in person because no matter how the photography is used, no matter how many things are done, you can never, ever get the true look of it until you see it in person and all the hard work that was done. Set number 86 is a detailed set. It's got lots of usages and it's got some nice sediments on it. It's got one of my favorite hearts. This is off of a bigger set where it's part of the city of New York backgrounds theme and so forth. But Tim would always take a lot of times, many of the sets obviously, pick out the items that he liked so much and then put them into sets, and he would call them minis. So we had two different sizes, using them for different usages and so forth. And I can't name off all these sets that it was from, but so many beautiful usages that you can do things with. And then the makes, Jeanette really made a great card with the different usages of paint here. Jen with her look, as she always does, though this one's a little more grungy than what Jen a lot of times will do. Susie made just a spectacular hanging tag here. Cassie has utilized so many items from that set, which got my favorite heart in it. Thanks very much for that, Cassie. Sharon has done things with the alcohol inks here in a great little shaker card, as Tim loves to do the shakety shake. It looks like snow, and then all of a sudden it all clears up. But you can really have a lot of fun with these things, unless it opens up in the mail and the receiver says, "What the heavens happened?" and or your local mail carrier shows up and he looks like the snow hit him.
Well, it's kind of like this room this week, because we had our friends from Northwoods.
Northwoods has been in the building.
I swear I spent 2 hours scraping glitter off of everything.
Well, thank you very much. We use the classroom. Di is with us, and Di is in a watching us from a spot in lovely old England. We'll leave it at that. And Di uses his classroom all the time for teaching, but we use it sometimes for setting up booths. So we've already rebuilt the Stampers Anonymous booth for 2026, and now this past week, Pat and Paul were in from Northwoods, as Matt alluded to, and the booth right behind Matt is set up where Katie's sitting in the middle of the booth looking like she's demoing, but instead she's doing all of the links and so forth. How's that going over there, sis? Going good?
Thumbs up.
Got a thumbs up. Okay. I feel like we're talking Mario and Tim style, like we're talking to all the makers. And I can't emphasize enough, when Mario and Tim do this all by themselves, I'm so blessed to have Matt and Sis and Rhonda and Tom and Trev all helping Will usually too. So it takes 6 of us to do what just Mario does, Mr. BTS. Here's the set for 87 called Shabby French. one of the remaining under 100 ones. Again, it's a mini set, and it's got some great components in it that were utilized for all different types of backgrounds and or some nice sediments. And you can just do all different types of tags. When you're doing an number 8 tag, it works well for some things, but when you're doing like a number 5 tag or a card, it just works great. Tammy's used part of this set in this usage. I won't have that one until later when we're doing another set. Cassie used it also with multiple components, and it's just gorgeous with that lovely sediment. Zoe, as I said, buongiorno. So Zoe, we sure appreciate you being with us. You and Barbara worked so hard.
Butchering that. Awful.
I'm butchering my Italian. Well, I think that they can tell that I'm from Cleveland. I'm so sorry. But Louisa's with us, and we always have to say thank you to her. She and Daniel, she worked with Daniel to make our new song, our theme song, and so a huge shout out. Louise is always busy doing different things. Her blog's one of the busiest I've seen, so thank you for all the extra hard work you've done there. For us, I've only got one of the cards that we've got, and this is one of the lovely ones done with paste and different layering that Louise has made. And as you saw with the other pictures, they're gonna be coming up in future tags here and so forth. Hold that one up because you can really see then the use. That's right. That's what the boss does. Mr. Holtz does this all the time. So.
And the glitter on that really pops.
That sure
not
does.
glitter, is it? I can't tell.
There's definitely glitter in the inks. Also, yep, no question about that.
It's pretty.
Yep. So there's that one. Number 99 is a set that Tim came up with called Postcards, and when he did this, it kind of reminded me of when I was a youngster. I can remember traveling or getting different cards from different people, and the cards back in my age group, you would have the different style postcards that were there. Some that were realistic shots, and then other ones, they kind of made them like a cartoon style, but a very elegant cartoon style. So these words and the typefaces that were used show that back from the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, and oftentimes when you stayed in the old hotel motels, they'd always have them in the drawer, and you would pull it out, and it might have a postcard phrase like that on the top or something, and then you'd fill it in with the text and send it off to your loved ones. But these postcards, I'm sorry?
In the spirit of Valentine's Day, it's like sending off your love notes.
There you go. Trev we could be doing that. You're right. In our spare time, you're right. But here they are, and of course, tightly trimmed, and now that they're indexed on the back, you can just see exactly what you're doing. It's almost like having a clear stamp, but better because it's red rubber. Though we do have clear stamps, and we make them right here in the building in Cleveland, Ohio. But Jen has utilized it there, again, with a little edginess for her, doing things in the look of the distressed style that she's got down to a science when she does all those education classes in Rhode Island, and on the Cape over there as it is. But Cassie has used that card. We just saw that a moment ago for the sediment. Now we've got the postcards in there, and now we've got Natifa doing something similar where it's a different bunch of impressions that look stunning.
Such a fun background.
It really, really is. And here we've got the great set by Barbara that used it many different ways with the postcard here, but used one of our fantastic CMSs of the floral style that there's 4 stamp sets on that one. But again, many, many uses for the different ones that we've got. Our last one in the white that you'll ever see that way is set number 100. And when we did this, it was such a big anniversary. Tim had us put a gold sticker on here that emphasizes it was the 100th set. Never, ever dreaming back then that we'd get to the point where we had 500 sets total. But that just gives us lots of curations for the future to play with here and supplement with other new things and so forth. But the set initially came out on the white, and they were just great tickets and different items. Tim would sometimes use the tickets on other sets. Number, I believe it, what was it, 82, Trev has the Valentines one, Halloween's got one on it, a Christmas one's got a ticket on it, but he used them over again, and then of course we've got other usages here with limited editions.
But those are of course different tickets, I believe. But
No, they're the same. This is the same.
They?
This is the same one. If we pull back over the Valentine's one, set number 82, that's the same one. I'm sure of that. So, am I right or wrong?
Almost.
Oh,
Similar but different.
Okay.
I'll pull it back over.
All right. So Jen has made some fantastic cards again with showing different techniques, with Luis showing some beautiful collage work with the portraits and the like. And boy, Trev, you're right. There you go. Tim's going to be there giving it a good laugh as Mario. The two of them are going to be in Prescott watching this going, there he goes again. But Trev is always right. He did pull that out. Now when they come back in the camera, we'll have
Make
to
sure you
show
show
them.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have to show them. But this one didn't make it in the mail in time, but Tammy
We
made
didn't get Tammy's.
Tammy's
yeah.
samples didn't show up, but this was
wow.
utilizing the Etcetera tags and boards. She made an amazing gift box out of that, and then you'll see a later usage with the same one that we've got as one of our specials that Louisa made an amazing, massive Etcetera tag. Before we show the cards in the collage, you'll see, as Trev said, there's our Valentines one, and as always, I'm wrong.
Hooray for Trevor.
Here's our
It's a good
here's
thing
our
you're here,
love
buddy.
ticket. So, I could really, yes. But there's a couple of beautiful cards here that were made by Lisa and by Jen. I'm sorry, this one, Natifa and Luis. Yes, there we are. So those are those. And moving on to some ones now that are starting off after 100. They've always been made this way, but number 110 is still a 15-year-old set. One of my favorites because as a fella, I'm not really good when I make cards of doing my sentiments inside, writing them right, and getting everything to look the way I want. And Tim really helped us with making a set. I believe this is one of the very first ones that had so many opportunities for sentiments and so forth that you could just pull things off of. And I know that lots of people were asking so often for Tim to make a set of just his little Timisms, and we still haven't got him to do that, but there's always that hope. But I know that he's on sabbatical and retirement from doing just that. But what great tags and cards by Luis, by Susie, by Jeanette, all the different ones used in this style. We've got that just endless possibilities and so forth, and combinations of different things that we have with our stencils, with our stamps, and Etcetera tags and the like. This background set, it's going to be coming up. Oh, this is the one I was telling you about. Wait till I show you that in person.
Oh, wow.
That's that same one that Tammy used off the Etcetera set to make an amazing three-dimensional creation. Cassie using my favorite heart and a like with a great sentiment on there that just sings to me and makes my heart warm. The usage that Tammy put in there to make that set kind of go into the heart is gorgeous. And a little bit of wine might be early for right now, but
It's noon somewhere.
It's noon somewhere, yes. But it sometimes could calm the nerves a little bit. And another fantastic card that just shows the different coloring techniques. Again, we only have a few of them here because they're all being brought out through other usages and so forth. But here's a great shot. I just love this.
I love that background.
Well, the background's great, but also just the layering. I love how everybody uses the layering, and this is one of Tim's Etcetera tags, number 8, which is one of the featured ones in this set that you can utilize with. So that's the beauty of this. Set number 121 is a great background set that just gives you a really nice, easy one-shot hit, but you can then dress it up with different layers, of course, and add in Cupid or the hearts, or no one doesn't want an XO, more hugs and kisses, please. But here with this one, we've got some really nice cards and tags submitted that just, again, the layering and alike. Love it. Just love it. The artwork that Tim would find with these things was just amazing over the years that he either found, created, helped manage and modify just a little bit to make it his own. It's just gorgeous, the amount of work that went into making these things stand out, and that's why they're timeless and will be great. Here's what I was talking about, where you can use the background, the hearts, the XOs, in just a layering shot all the way through. Susie did a fantastic job to showcase that and alike, and just love it. the black and white usage on top with the gold over the red that Barbara did here is perfecto again. I'm never going to get it right. And Boo, otherwise known as Joy. Boy, did I see some stuff on boy bands lately, Joy. We got to talk soon about that on the television. They've been really coming back in big form. But anywho, Tammy's got a great little card here. We showed that, I think, earlier in set number 1, or set number 8, I should say, that came from the classic favorites. But just lots of beautiful tags, cards, usages of all the different things. That's some seam binding ribbon on top of that one there. Tim used to just call it crinkle ribbon, and it was so much fun to take that crinkle ribbon, and I still use it all the time, where we can spray the stain on it, put in the water to lighten it, and then you can stamp on it on top of it, and you can crinkle it, you can iron it, and boy, does that make just for a beautiful embellishment on top of a card. But here is the cards that we have here to show that different shot, and just looking at all the different layerings and
like
so
you said,
forth.
the stitching on that one's really pretty too.
It is. All that hand stitching around the side. Lisa does just wonders with this. Here's this one I was talking about that had all the different layers and alike. And another one with more of a flat layers, but still layers just the same, that may not be punched out, but still just gorgeous. And as always, a tribute to Mario III, Mario's son, created a zipped up version of things that Tim liked so much that Ginny Carter always had some great blueprints done from Michelle Ward. Back 20 years ago, Tim always wanted to get his own versions of that, and Mario was there working in the studio with Dad and Tim and said, Tim was saying he wishes he could have someone draw blueprints, and all of a sudden Mario hands a card over and goes, kind of like this. And Dad was kind of surprised that son could draw so well, and I think Uncle Tim was just as surprised. What's that all about? So this is one of Mario III's first version of blueprints. We brought him to CHA in Vegas to sign autographs and everything, and Mario and Joe, Mario's sons, are both models, and so well, I don't think Mario is anymore because he's got kids now, but Joe still is out there, and it's just,
I don't know, he could do it.
It's just crazy how handsome these fellas were. We had more people stopping by because of the handsome fellas than we had of that for the cards. But we've got obviously the use of the cards that were just gorgeous. Zoe has done one here with the Queen of Hearts, the big thing in America for these little lottery games that are played in the local bars. So how appropriate, you got a Queen of Hearts there. Again, this is a perfect example where things that weren't available back in the day, oxide pads, the crayons and the spritzes that were shown there as in the shot, show things that were never available. And here we go again. Look at this Etcetera tag. What a job. Tammy just knocks it out of the park. If y'all remember all the different things that she used to make, the big closing projects that she would submit that Tim would have to bring out on a tow motor onto the table in his studio to show off because they were just gorgeous. They were absolutely detailed beyond belief. The Haunted Mansion one was one of my favorite ones that she did. Here's that background I was talking about. Oh my goodness, it's got like a little piece of string in there, but it's just great. It's got a Valentines background, a newspaper advertisement. It's also got one for the 4th of July, so this is a 2 holiday one that you can get and utilize for your backgrounds that are just easy peasy, that work really well, that you can get. Probably a good time to talk about, don't forget, we always mention that not only do we have the free shipping going on, and not only do we have different incentives, dollar amounts to get discounts and so forth if you place an order today for all of our retail customers. Don't forget, you can also get them from us or many of your online stores. Your local stores have bought them. They're already in possession of all of them. And we are happy to say that everything shipped out last week and is in everyone's possession. So worldwide, by the way. And here's 2 versions of that. And again, look at this one here.
That layering's crazy.
It's just delightful. It just shows all the different things. You got that, sis? Delightful. I got that one in there for you. All right. Yes. She's probably like critiquing me to see if I was saying anything to break any copyrights or anything. Protecting Dad from all the things he could screw up with his vocabulary. But what a treat to have these cards in place.
Is that using the tiny attacher in there I see on the layered one?
On this one, that is the tiny attacher right here and right here. Trev, great catch. and Tim used to always show what a thing we could do with the tiny attacher is we would utilize and have the ability to take the tiny attacher staples before they go in, and we could take them and color the whole staple thing with a Sharpie marker, and then you'd have red staples, black staples for the holidays, green and so forth. You can just do all kinds of things at Valentine's. Of course, red is gorgeous. These are mini blueprint stamps done by Mario III. This is a mini version of the one that we already just showed as the big one. But we thought since we have a mini of the big, let's give another new one and let's toast this first 2026. We came up with pulling this one out of the archives. And again, they're all indexed on the back, on the red rubber. It's obviously, as you can see, red rubber. These sets are quite nice for doing pull-out cards, shaker cards, and all kinds of different collages because you can do 4 or 5 on the front of things. But wait till you see some of the makes with this. The usages of so many great...
She used so many things in this project.
So cool.
Well, you can never show that enough, but it's got the tickets on the top and the background stamps, and of course the Etcetera bases all put together and alike, and it is just amazing that the amount of usages that all of our makers have been doing it for so many years and see so many different things out there, and they work all together too so nicely to really showcase all the different abilities. But look at this one here is one of the ones I love. It's got the glossy accents over the inks, so you can really get a nice little shine here to all of the levels of temptation and delight that we've got right there for partying for the first part of the new year, right? And then here again, the Queen of Hearts. They just had a big drawing of that. I think we still have a local establishment that's a $50,000 draw, and there's 5 cards left over at I believe it's the Grayton Road Tavern. Anybody's in Cleveland, Cassie, if I hear you're buzzing over there this afternoon, I'll know you're getting your tag and card. But here again, all the different usages, the hand stitching on the outside, the amount of detail that's used. Thank you so much for all the hard work to all of our makers that they put into all this. And here's to 2026 with the toast to the new year with the hooch. What we have been surprised about has been, as we've done these curations, we're just shocked that we've kind of as an afterthought thought about bringing in Tim's COMs because these were really big when it was artist trading cards. That's what Tim came up with this for. It was a one-shot artist trading card where he collaged his artwork and made it small enough to make a one-shot tag. And we've brought them back, and every curations we've had, it's been the biggest seller of any individual SKU. We make them again, make hundreds more, make them again. For the whole month, they just continue to ship. So we've got our 4 again. We've got to figure what happens during Valentine's Day. Hopefully you're dancing, sending love notes. This is that one that's got the usage of that one set that's got the background of New York City, as we spoke of. A skyline with my favorite heart that Cassie had in that one card, so eloquent. And then, of course, when you're out for Valentine's Day, you've got to have the outfit. So Vogue is used for this one, and these COMs, which is short for components that Tim created, just are so gorgeous. Tammy using it over the background wallpaper of our set number 23. Susie here using it over one of our stencils backgrounds. Of course, Natifa, again, over set number 23. That is just splendid.
Such a fun, easy focal point for your card.
It is. And then here's a trick, obviously, for those that match me that don't sew. We would always put a border on things. And this is just a little hash mark with a ruler and utilizing just little dashes Some people put 3 little dots in a row. What a little trick that can be sometimes on this black if you wanted to put in some white. And then, of course, the usage of the glazes and embossing powders are beautiful. And then I just love the color scheme here. The paste came through on the stencil back here that just makes that stencil so usable in so many ways. It'll be coming up here alike shortly. But, oh, speaking of stencils, oh no, these
Mixed media time.
Mixed media time.
They're stencils.
They are stencils and stamps. This is where Tim designed for the change. We wanted to always keep things different for a lot of the beginning stampers who really like clear stamps. In the chains, the Michaels and the Hobby Lobbies of the world, and a couple that are no longer with us, would buy these and still do, utilizing a couple of Tim's favorite stamps. And then he would take a couple of stencils and put them together. He always would affectionately call them his Franken stencils, I think. And Matt and he would create sizing and usages that would work great with all of these things. But how great these are because they can be used in so many different ways. This is our mixed media set number 160. And we've got some samples that were made with that. And
someone in the chat was asking if we could go back over our deals, but I think we'll circle back to that at the end of the live, unless you want to go over those now.
No, we
again.
can come back to that. Sure, we'll do it all. I know I talked too fast. I apologize for that. But we'll go over the whole thing on that too. It's on the website also, all written out. But we'll chat about it too. But the usage of the different things that we have from modern sets, old sets, new sets, we just love what we've got there. For the different pieces and parts. Jen has got some of her really beautiful cards here that just really,
watercolor look. It's great.
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. And Barbara, this is the one that we had the top header from our postcard series, but then the bottom part from the flower series with that great text background. Here are the ones, like we said with Jen's. She tattered the edges up to make it roughed up a bit. Tim taught me long ago, whether we're using his little tool for that or the back of a pair of scissors or like, you can also hit that if you wanted to with the ink, but because the paper's all roughed up, it just soaks in the ink. So the border, you could hit this with a certain color. Say if you use vintage photo and then dragged it in, it would light it up because this paper is not absorbing the ink as much and it would sit up on top. And so you get a great shading technique. And of course, what do we've got here with some great usage of some of the ideology tag components and alike. And again, roughed up the edges, a tattered tear here. You could also use the Tim's decal cutter for that he has. Just, I think that when we talk about one of the successes that Tim's always had is if you needed it and you want to make something, Tim's got a technique or a tool to do it. So he's kind of like the Ronco guy where he slices, dices, chops, minces, and souffles.
I saw someone else in the chat asking about future factory tours if coming to visit. I know we could.
Well, we always have people stop in. We're in Cleveland. We don't have a store. You're always welcome to email us first. We'll go ahead and pull your order and have it ready for you. And Trevor, myself, Matt, many of the different folks here would love to take you on a tour, show you how things are made. It's a lot of fun when we do that. A lot of times when we have people that make the effort to come all the way down here, we give them a goodie bag just because we're so pleased to have them with us and show, all the different things. Will has been working on our first round of videos, which are going to debut at the Easter one. I thought we'd have them for this one, but the new year kind of came up and creeped up on us quickly. So we'll have some tours for that and also some things from shows where we're doing setup and alike. So always welcome to come in, take a tour, but don't hesitate to place an order first if you want something, or even when you're here, we can have someone pull Grandma Lee or many of the different staff that you're all used to knowing right here in the camera. Sorry. Thanks, Matt. Thank you. And it's the cutest little picture that he drew here too. Kind of looks like me after I've had a beer or two. But we've got such a great group of family members here. My sister's here, my son, my daughter. Well, she's now doing things elsewhere in the court of law. But we've just got all the different times that Di's here when she has her classes. She'll be having some again soon.
And of course, we always do a full tour with the classes.
Correct. yes. So this is our mixed media set. It's got great flowers on it, number 161. Some really fun stencils and the like. But the flowers are so many great components to build different things with on the flowers. And you can get always on our sets, we've got the picture of the stencil in the top corner. And then over here, we've got what all the stamps look like and alike. But on the website, Tom's taken a lot of effort to pull those things out. Matt and he put together such great graphics for that and alike. And then on the back, we've got a big version of the same pictures too. So without any further ado with that, here's that wonderful card back again that we had from Barbara. And then using different layers. Of course, you can sometimes just, Tim always would say, as he would hold the card, he can tell who made what. And I'm starting to understand that all too well. I feel it and see it and have that same feeling when I touch things. I can tell that if it's a watercolor card or something like this, it potentially, is from one artist. If it's a card with lots of layers, it's from another. If it's a card that's got intricacy that's beyond belief, it's from another. And we can just tell who's made what when you feel it.
But we're lucky to deal with so many different makers who have
absolutely.
different styles. It's
When
really
Tim
great.
suggested all this, we were so blessed to have all of his makers come with us and help us on this journey of re-sharing things. And they weren't even maybe making back then. And of course, there was no such thing back then as lives or any of that. So now that we can do this together, but you can just see, even just little things, just curling the paper card here. And then this has got the beautiful hand stitching and the different layers and so forth that we have and alike that Zoe produced. This one, of course, I believe is the one that has got Cassie has done and shown different ways with the different sediments and alike, and the flowers. And then, of course, I put money on Louise made this one, and sure enough, she did. What a guess. But it's got hand stitching, it's got all the different tears and alike, and lots of collage and uses of the layering once again. So hope you all are enjoying all the different variety that are here. I believe, is this our last one of the mixed medias?
I think we have one more.
Still one more? Okay.
This is a big one.
This is a big one.
Popular.
This is 182. That's what I was talking about on the back of the set. We've always got the picture of the stencil and the Franken stencil. This one was 3 that Tim and Matt did. And then here are the stamp sets. And he used his stitch. So this is a neat little trick, because if you're not great with stitching and you don't want to draw the little hash marks, we've got 3 stamps right here. There you go. You can stamp and repeat and have your stitching done that way. So it looks like you spent all that time on a sewing machine. But that will be evident in some of these great tags and alike. Cards, projects. Oh, I just love these. These are so cute. Sharon actually went crazy with the sewing machine in circles there. My gosh, kind of looks like a day in the snow where you're circling and having some fun. And again, sometimes the cards are over and over again, but that's just because they have used different components, and you can see where you can draw some of them in together with other usages. That background stamp on this one, I just love what Natifa did for showing the different highlighting of those edges and alike.
Yeah, a lot of people just use this set just for the words on their cards sometimes. But it was very popular for that people loved the scripty looking handwritten type.
It is a neat one for that purpose. And again, if you don't like your handwriting, it's always nice to have the ability to do that, or something that you just can't get the right size. If you can't, I could never write "miss you" that small. And so it really allows for that. And the stencil just makes for great simple backgrounds, whether you're using glazes, whether you're using embossing powders, pastes, or just ink. Because whether you're doing dots or hash marks or crosses and so forth, plus signs, it all just shows a different method, but all the different styles and usages. And so often when we would do a bird set that Tim would have, you just think another bird set, but instead it always had such a great way to do things. But here they all are, many of them, not all, because obviously many were using multiple things. This one has the hand stitching and all the different layers again. Just gorgeous with all of the different matting that's back there. It really jumps. Again, this one just shows the reverse version of the usage of the stencil, and like when you're doing a watercolor, usage of the stencil, putting the ink on it, lay the stencil down, pull it back off, and you've got the reverse of that stencil. And what a great technique. As I spoke of, Sharon did this one where it's got the sewing marks all over it, and it's just great because it shows the different ways to be random with the little stitch starting that she stamped the starting of the stitch and then went crazy with the sewing machine. So kind of doing both show off.
She didn't have to fake it.
No, she's. I don't think she did by any means. And again, same thing here. We've got tickets. We've got the stencil used, a little cute birdie, and then of course the background. This is just where the ink just went through the stencil itself, and how gorgeous and simple. And then of course for the random speckles and so forth, just take out your schnozzle, as Tim would say, and give it a little dippity-doo flickaroo, and you've got your paints or inks going that way. And just look at these delightful little things.
Hold those guys up. They're so tiny.
They are tiny. Let's see, do I do it that way? We gotta have Tim come to Cleveland and show us how he does that. Now, if I were to clap, I'll tell you what. There you go. But these are just gorgeous. And what an addition to any gift bag. If you're going to a shower, put it on a bag of wine that you may be taking or something.
I saw someone a few seconds ago ask what set the Queen of Hearts was in. That was in the CMS 143 as well as in the Mini Blueprints 004.
Perfect. So 004 in the Mini Blueprints, and also the set of the Mini Blueprints 143. And again, Mario the Third, he's still rocking those blueprints. They are the best. This is our mixed media set number 184. This is one of the ones that you wouldn't think much of it, but when you've got a couple of whether it be an open or a solid square or circle, these are great because you can then reverse stamp on them. You can do all kinds of things with color on them and alike, and then you've got all the sediments that fit into that. And this background is great for, again, either one of these are great for using all the different techniques of the stencils, because they're so wide open, whether you're doing something with pastes or glazes or inks of some sort. But what a great set for that purpose, to make the different things. And the cards here are, again, just gorgeous. Simple background, but look at the usage of it there that Sharon did on the background of above the bird. And then here we've got it again, just randomly Jen had used. And then with this one, this has got...
Again, a lot of times it's just the words.
Just the words on it and so forth, the love you and so forth that Jen has used throughout. That set is popular all the time, and a great value too. Luis made this one. We're getting close to showing that pretty soon. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Too bad Tammy's is here. We get both those three-dimensional cards together. They're fantastic, and I just love this one with the alcohol ink. You can't ever emphasize how great alcohol ink is. It's a little. You want to use it in a well-ventilated area, but using the lift ink with it to do the reversing and to do the different things with alcohol ink, with the blower and the randomness you can do. At one point, Ranger actually has been going to a couple of fine art shows and hiring artists to do things. And I encourage you, I'm not sure if it's on Tim's blog where he's got it, but he's got a hand-done alcohol portrait of himself that this one artist made that is over the top. It looks just like Tim. It's great. I never would think anybody could do something like that with alcohol ink, but that's why Ranger started doing more and more stuff with the fine arts alcohol ink things. So we've got a couple of the cards here. This is one obviously where the stencil has got the paste and the glazes through it, with then thrown on some glitter speckles. I'm not sure if we used a glitter duster to do that. I don't know if there's any glitter in there actually. It looks as though it's just got the different layers with the paste that's been colorized and then just finished off on top, and then the X and O and alike that Sharon did. And then of course this is that one I spoke of. It's got the alcohol ink, And whether you're using glossy paper, matte paper, or the Yupo paper, which is actually like sheets of plastic, that is so much fun to do. One of the things that I love to do things with. We've got stencils that are been with us forever, but they are full-size regulation that Tim did, and then we've got them the number 8 size where they're minis, and the minis you get 3, and they're minis of the regulation ones, and then in a little set, it's a value because you're getting 3 for the price of probably a little less than 2 of the big ones, but it really allows you to have quite a bit of variety, similar to the Franken stencils that we do for the main chains that were there. But these stencils, we've got some great examples of using them with pastes and inks, stains, sprays. And don't forget, whether you're using a shoebox or Tim's Splat Box, what a help that is to really get great protection of your craft area. Because if you don't keep that area clean, oh my heavens. I was at a show in Akron, as a matter of fact, had a person in town wearing a gorgeous shirt. She was too close to me in the front of our booth. I sprayed the ink and I said, everyone needs to be very careful. I'm not Tim. I don't have the perfect usage and the command of the schnozzle. I hit that spray stain. It hit the paper. I ended up buying a polo shirt out of the deal. So we gave her some stamps and then some money for the clothes that I then speckled all over her shirt. So
well, it's like a custom.
Exactly.
It is a custom. Yes,
I mean,
yes,
it's
yes.
probably worth real money now.
Yes. I can.
Like
well,
$7-8.
Well, there are things when Tim would get done at CHA all the time, and he had his blanket binky that he would always use, which is
the Inky Binky.
The Inky Binky. That is just a flour sack from Walmart, rag of some sort. People would want it because, and I actually had Tim sign one for me at one time that I have framed because it's gorgeous. If you don't use it too much, it's perfect. If you use it for like weeks like I do, it kind of looks a little over the top usage. But these samples here with stencils really just make things sparkle, shine, and are used in so many great ways to enhance every project. When Tim started talking about different things from stamps, then the next thing we did was stencils. Then when he talked to Matt about, could you do things with this book board? And we have different thicknesses of the book board. One is like a 1/16 of an inch and one's like an 1/8, Matt?
Yeah, that's about right.
I mean, you can stand on the one, for heaven's sakes, but you have these things that just continue to get utilized and made. And since we can make them all here, Tim took full advantage of utilizing our art department and our lasers, and we thank him so much for that because it really just allows us to keep the creativity and the art going. What a great tag that is, where it just has the different things on top of that Etcetera tag, cutouts and layering of that collage. Here's that one again where we've got a background, one of the tags.
A lot of little hearts on
Yep,
this thing.
and that obviously came from Ideology, one of the sets that Tim had. Here we've got the, I love when Latifah takes her pictures because her pictures, the settings that she uses,
they're great.
I mean, it's like she's got a little photo studio going there. And Barbara utilized so many different things with the coloring here, and then the outside background with the dressing it up with the different twines and alike, the decorative strings. Those little itty bitty things make a huge difference every time. You can never ever underestimate the value of. We used to have a guy work here. Remember Tom Hubbard? Tom Hubbard was the graphics guy, and Tom used to always say, "Oh, it's always in the details. Everything's in the details." He was from Kansas, and he's now in Seattle. But a graphic artist that would always talk about that, and he was right. It really does. I look at these tags and everything that Tim ever taught me on how to do this, and even going back, there was a life before Tim. My first lessons were given to me by Mary Jo McGraw for years, and Mary Jo is one of the greatest crafters ever. And too bad she doesn't teach anymore, but one of the most fun-filled classes ever. It's like taking a dye class that you spend more time when you create. You also spend a heck of a time laughing and so forth, and just enjoying all that. But these tags that we've got in cards, just the level of matting here and the different types of glitter and paper and so forth, and just a simple piece of paper that's cut out on one of obviously this is kind of like a little look at Dick Van Dyke. I could see him being a chimney sweep one way, but here we've got a Valentines thing. 100 years old this year for Dick, one of Tim's idols in the Disney family and so forth. But let me guess. I wonder who made this tag. I'm thinking it might be Louisa. Oh, gosh, I'm right again. There we go. But thank you to her and to Dan for our song, because we just love that song. And it got zipped up recently by redoing it this end of last year. But just the different edge. You got a square edge here. Here you've got a frayed edge that just is dressed up with, it's got a little vintage photo, it looks like, going on there. And on top of that paste, does that card just snap at you? It's just gorgeous. And then here we've got the same stencil we used earlier with the heart background that's got just the gold paste coming through. And when you hit it with the embossing powder a little bit heavy, you can make that crack just a skosh. And then some beautiful, just simple embossing powder, probably the super fine black that just makes that come right off like that. And then some usage of some of Tim's wonderful lace additions from Ideology and the like. So, and some hand stitching that was put in there by Luis. So now we get into the Etcetera tags. And these we always just try to throw in something that, is one of Tim's end of the run creations he came up with, where he started having different usage of the bookboard things over the last 5 years or so. The artists loved it, though, as we do, because it allows you to have a substrate to make things with, that base that you get. No fear of, if you put too much ink or paste or anything on, that it's going to be one of those paper plates like at a picnic that just goes, it's going to stay firm and flat and straight, and really give you a great use.
And this one with the shapes in it, that all pops apart.
This is the one we spoke of that does have that ability that Tammy used to make her thing. And, she just takes all these, and you can make all different types of usages. And then if you see, this is the one we spoke of where I'll just bring it in for a quick second and bring it back in quicker later, but use the background here, this part, to make our frame, which will show yet again. Clever. But these are all laser cut. They're all the same, and you get 3 of these sets in here. And look at all the pieces and parts you get. And this is the one that, as we spoke of, that Tammy took all of these, glued them together, put it together as such. It's almost like you're and I'm not real good at that. So, Tammy, I'm sorry, I'm giving the world's worst usage of geometry here. But then you glue that to your number 8 tag, and you make that usage. And we're going to have some more laser projects.
Really cool box.
Great box.
And then Louisa used the outside frame, which we usually think of as just throwaway.
Right.
She used it to.
Who would have ever thought? Yeah. When Matt and I were looking at this, we're like, "Oh, that's how she made that part on the outside." Yep. So inventive. And what did Tim always say? There is no such thing as waste in this business. Everything's utilized later and so forth. But this can be used in a million different ways and the like. But Matt's got some great samples and photography here that we've utilized.
We have a lot of good examples.
This is number 8 tag is the baseboard, and again, you can just get that great usage of firmness for your base background.
Actually, that's not one. I goofed when I put that one in there, but it's good to see.
Are those regular tags?
She cut them out by hand.
Those are those teeny tiny ones I had in my hand. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Well, but we loved it so much. We're doing it again.
Before we got the physical ones, I didn't know how big they were.
Oh. All right. Well, there you go. There you are. See, neat. And one of those great photo shoots. I don't know where Natifa gets all those great props from, but I think she might have been by Tim's house and got some things out of his cabinets, because you can go to Cracker Barrel and have one version of the most amazing finds, and then if not there, Tim's house has got all the better finds by far. He and Mario spend hours junking all over the country. They used to go to Minneapolis when they would do a show for archivers at the Mall of America, and Mario would spend hours in the room packing things back up to ship back to Prescott. And there is nobody that is a better packer than Mario. So you can always picture him in a hotel room trying to figure out, where can I get more stuffing and the like. But here's the tags and the usage of these things. But as we spoke of, these things are solid boards. Just how lovely is that? It's just fantastic. This has got the right tag, Tim, or Trev. Tim's hopefully watching, but Trev's with me. That's got the tag from set number 82, CMS 82. Here's the bird usage again with the small sets, using many of his mixed media ones. This has got the usage of the mixed media and alike. And then, of course, this is a tag on a background and so forth. And then saving the most elaborate tag for the end. How about, I can't even get enough angles on this to show one layer of the background waist. Here are 3 layers glued together. Actually, that's not true. It's 2 layers glued together, because I'm sure she just used one. Then she cut a little strip here to put, I don't even know if you can see, this little itty, she put that one little strip in there so she could use just those 3 strips together, those 3 backgrounds, and then gussied up these pieces that came through it, the components, the heart, the circle, and what's the other one? Now I can't even see it.
The house.
The house. Thank you. It's so detailed in there I can't even see it. But then using the background of a stamp, and then this is actually, what is that? Is that a mini, Matt?
Yeah.
That's a mini tag.
Yeah.
Because Tim and Matt design 5 sizes or 4?
5.
5 sizes. Yeah. I mean, some of them you could almost have a small dog surf on. We've got weenie dogs, miniature weenies, and they could surf on the number 1 tag, right? That's the number 1. That's the big one.
Yeah, the large.
The large
it's
one.
Called large.
You could use it for a snowshoe if you're from the north, where you need to get out in the winter with things. But just look at this one, and it is over the top with a little dowel in here. You see the dowel that she did to pop up that heart all the way up to the top of that. It's actually a thread spool, not a dowel.
I'm so happy this made it all the way from Germany.
Made it from Germany.
Yeah,
wow.
all in one piece. So that's
now,
great.
Yes, I that's when it's. I won't even bother with my German, because I'll butcher that like
Yeah.
We'll just stop it.
I would just stop this all right now.
Okay.
Well, check out how cool the back of this one is. I didn't think to look at the back.
Oh, how about that? Yep.
That's
Look at that.
extra value.
Yeah.
But it does show where she did a lot of things with the tiny attacher. And again, back to that, you can always color your staples, and then they come through the back. People at shows always laugh at me because I take Tim's craft hammer and I bang those flat, because I can't tell you how many times I've come back and cut myself on one of those rascals. And when I hand the tags out at the show, many times I'll just attach another tag on the back, a paper tag, so that no one's getting hurt. But these are just great. Look at that. It's just great. Jeanette, what a great usage of the product. So, all right. So we've talked about all the different things. We've shown all the cards. And I guess, like they say now, it's time for the housekeeping or the different things. On our site, you can always see we attend different people's shows, and then we have our own shows. And then we also are partners in a group for Stamp Scrap Art Tour SSAT, which are shows that are around the country. So the first one's coming up this year will be February 7th. We're going to be in Clearwater, as I said, at Stamp Fest. That show's put on by our good friends Rick and Debbie that have 2 shows in Florida. And then from there we go up to Columbia, South Carolina. Columbia, South Carolina is the following weekend, Valentine's weekend, when both of these shows will have a huge display of curations. All the new cards. Darby, our show creator and director, puts all the cards together on a big board, and then surrounded by all the projects with all the stamp sets, stencils, and available right there at the front of the booth. But we'll be at Stamp Fest and Columbia, so that you can access them there if you haven't bought them by that point online or at your local stamp store and the like. From there, we go out to Chicago, That's always a little hit or miss because we sometimes get snow and sometimes we're there when it's 70 degrees. So let's hope for the 70 degrees this year. But we'll be in Chicago at Rockford, Illinois, and that's a fantastic show at the Cliff Breakers, where we have those shows always have great make and takes that you can do Friday night and the like, as does the Columbia show. And then back to our hometown area, Akron, Ohio, will be our show. It's our very own Adventures in Stamping that was started, 27, 28 years ago by our good friend, the Cleveland fireman, Bill Peddle. Cindy, her husband, or his wife, kept it on for years because Bill passed away somewhat early in life, but Cindy kept that tradition going for 20 years, and we just love that show, so we loved it so much we bought it when she retired. And so we're Adventures in Stamping at the John S. Knight Center, and all the shows are on the schedule you can see.
Speaking of schedules, someone way earlier, asked about if we had any classes scheduled for the year, and to my knowledge, we don't. But of course, it'll be in our newsletter if you want to keep an eye out on that.
Correct. We don't have anything that Di hasn't given me her dates when she's going to be teaching here in the studio. I know that this year, as she likes to say, I don't think she likes to say, but she says that sometimes that she's feeling a bit poorly. So Di, we love you. Get well soon. She's had a year of lots of different challenges and alike. So I think when she came here the one time, she was in America for like 7 weeks. And I think she might have overdone it. She keeps forgetting her and I are the same age. And I don't think I could be on the road for 7 weeks. And that woman travels with 4 full-size suitcases that she herself takes around. She won't hire a porter. She is one tough young lady. And love you, Di. Feel better soon. Our best to the family. Grandkids have been coming and going, and she's been doing lots of sitting. So I'm sure around Akron, around May, when we do the mega meet, there's a good chance. Then around Cincinnati in August, there's a good chance that she'll be teaching and alike. And then at our shows, different vendors have other classes and alike. Talking about stuff that might happen with Northwoods, we'll be talking with Pat when she comes in June to see whether or not she wants to have a class here, because she also teaches at the Cincinnati show and has many classes and is well received. So that's the schedule potentially of that for teaching. Then we wanted to, again, someone mentioned that they wanted to know what we have going on. I believe it's at $50 is a certain percentage off of a group purchase off of our site. $100 is another higher end discount, and then I believe it might be $150. All of it's right there in the front of the website. It's all for curations. We have all of our old curations also shown there in groupings and alike. And then, of course, please don't hesitate to visit all of your local stamp stores. Many of them have brought these in from us, and we thank them for doing that. We all know that if Tim's autograph is on it, and his intention and his creativity is in it, it sells wonderfully. And we never can thank Tim and Mario enough for all the fun that they've given us over the 20 years that they've been doing this, 18, 19 with us and our family. We were just talking, Tim and I, about the times with the birthdays in Disneyland, because his birthday being the 7th of January was always around CHA. So the kids, before they started school, when they were real young, they'd come to Disney and Disneyland, and then we do the show afterwards and alike, or it might be a Carson. And if it was Summer Carson, that meant it was Mario's birthday. So that was always fun. So let's see, we've talked about the specials. This time, we're going to start something new. For any orders that are over $50, everyone's going to get just a little gift. It has nothing to do with any other things we do, but we thought we love wood. It's one of those things, whether it be an Etcetera tag with the cardboard, paper products, and or can you take a shot of this, Matt?
Yeah.
This is just a stamp that we have designed that's just got a rubber die on it. Something simple. You'll understand a little bit more about this next month. We're going to start talking about doing some things that we're going to do with wood that I hope you're going to like, that are going to be available through curations and just through the site. But this is just going to be thrown in every order that goes out that's over $50. So you'll get the free shipping. You'll get the different discount levels depending on whether you buy a set or two, or golly, we can't tell you how surprised and how thankful we are when someone will buy 6 or 7 product lines at once. But $50 order and alike, you're going to get a free wood stamp, free shipping, and then the discounts that are there. And then we've got our winners. Now we've got to have people contact our site. We're looking for, gosh, I'm going to have to put my goggles on for this. Katie wrote this, but what a great job you did on writing, Katie Ann. Thank you. Teresa Barnick, or Bamick, B-A-M.
I think so. I think they're ours. B-A-R-R-I.
You can speak louder, sis. You're an attorney. Pretend like you're in the courtroom. Just read. The women in my world. Okay. Teresa Barmick, Peg Robinson, Ruth Pierce, Ellen Folk, Desiree House, Charlotte Meyer, Cindy Henry, Shirley Galecki, Tracy Workman, and Debbie Carusico. So again, we'll have these all posted on our site. There's 10 of you. Congratulations. You've all won a little free shipment of some goodies we're sending to you. But it's on the site. You just need to email us.
Email us at support at.
You'll email support at stampersanonymous.com. Again, congratulations to Teresa Barrick, Peg Robinson, Ruth Pierce, Ellen Folk, Desiree House, Charlotte Meyer, Cindy Henry, Shirley Galecki, Tracy Workman, and Debbie Carusico. And I'm sorry how I butchered everyone's name. When you see me do this at Make and Takes.
You know what? It wasn't as bad as the Italian.
I didn't even get into the German Guten Tag and all that, so we won't. Okay, shush. But Hogan's Hero was one of my favorite shows, I have to say. So, it is what it is. I'm that age. Before, Matt, you were born. You don't even probably remember those shows. So, at this time, it's time to, oh my gosh, I went over an hour. I don't normally do that. I'm so sorry. Try to keep it under an hour. But huge shout out to the staff at our company. We are so blessed to have such great people. Matt, I could never do this without you. Thank you all the time for what you do. Matt went home last night, went out and bought different props that are behind me.
Dollar Tree,
and in front
baby.
of me. Dollar Tree, baby. Trevor brought in a bunch of different things to help us out with stuff and the like. Katie brought in her womanly gaze to help us design the wall and so forth, though Matt's design techniques probably supersede that as the attorney in her. When she colors, woo, she may not be getting the creative juices from the family on that end of it. We want to thank our makers. The makers, we couldn't do this without you. When Tim suggested that we do this, and Mario and he gave us all of the ability to reach out to you, and the next makers submissions for the next ones are going to be maybe even a little different and a little better. We're looking forward. Rhonda's working with them, just starting to do some things that are going to be surprises coming. So we're always looking to make things different and better and make it so that every year it doesn't look like. But with all the new artwork, it's always different and better, obviously. Again, we couldn't have done any of this stuff without the huge shot in the arm and boost for the last 20 years that Tim and Mario have given us. Tim has given us so much in ideas and creativity and in sharing. And when Tim said that he wanted to potentially slow down with designing, not in anything else, because he's still creating out there all the time. I see him everywhere doing all these things. But you can't imagine what it goes into. Rhonda takes care of sending all the makers all the assignments and then making sure they get all their products. Then Rhonda makes sure that everything's tracked into shipping with Sandy, who's been with us for 47 years to do all of that end of it. My sister, who does all the different things, making sure that the orders are done properly. Obviously, talking with everybody about assignments to see that we have certain things from everybody and everywhere. Obviously, Matt taking care of all the technical support and all this layout that we have. Rhonda, who takes care of different postings, and of course this time Katie. So thank you, sis. And no, I'm not paying you at your billable hours as an attorney. You're still at the family rate. Sorry. The kids used to always say, "Dad, how come we have to work? None of our friends work." And I said, "You were born in the wrong family." So they can make stamps, cut things, do things, fold things, pack things like nobody's business. And it helps her with collating probably down at the Office of the Public Defender, or no, Juvenile Hall. Prosecutor. Oh, she's the prosecutor. She's putting the bad guys away. There you go. Or bad girls, I guess, too. But she's
And she really appreciates us talking about her.
And
she does.
And teasing her like that. Yes. And thank you all that are with us. Without you, all of our family and clients and so forth, we couldn't do any of this stuff. I've been doing this. I was talking to the guys at the hardware store. I don't go to the bar. When I walk in the hardware store, everybody knows my name. It's like Cheers. And I make a lot of the things in this building, and I do a lot of the things in this building, a lot of times by need. But the hardware store guy was telling me he's been working for 46 years, and I named off the year that I started in 1977. I realized, well, I'm at 48. So I got him on that. So Todd, even though Todd's a little older than I am, my dad made me start doing this at the age of a young age of 14. So I've been blessed to be making stamps my whole life for commercial work and for industrial work, and then now the fun stuff, making it for craft work. I've been taught how to demo and teach techniques out there. Surely never as good as anybody that taught me, but I can at least dumb it down to what I can handle, and then hopefully you can take away different ideas on what we do. Trev demos for Art Gone Wild's booth, and he's got the family creative gene. I don't have that, but
You're pretty good.
I fake it till I make it. But without you, our family of people that buy the different products and come to the shows and look at what we do and comment and the like, we're nobody. So thank you for being there. Tell all your friends. Share this all the time with people. We'll be back in another month or two. This will be out there soon. So thank you all for being with us.
All.
We hope that you have a great month of February. And January to finish off, and then February until we get back with you with March. And
have a happy Valentine's Day.
Have a happy Valentine's Day for sure. Make sure your hubbies could always contact us and get a gift certificate or what have you, or just buy you something off the site. But anything that I forgot from anybody, we got our winners. We got it all. So let's go out to the music. I got to put the headset on for this. All right. Thank you so much. Happy Valentine's Day.
Some folks go fishing, others do puzzles. There's hikers and bikers, wise men knit scarves, Netflix and chill, or dancing all night. Yoga or sunrise, or baking a pie. But I'm a stepper's an anonymous. Stamps and stencils, an addiction that doesn't hurt. Paper and ink, that's where my heart is. You do you, but I can't resist this. I'm a stepper's anonymous. Nature's moments, where it all began. The professor, the inspector, Mona sketchbook, oh man. Urban tapestry, spooky stuff, more study and flutter. Tiny text and ledger scripts, they all matter. Eclectic adverts, crazy birds too. Tim and Ted have a stamp set for every mood. But I'm a stepper's an anonymous. Stamps and stencils, an addiction that doesn't hurt. Paper and ink, that's where my heart is. You do you, but I can't resist this. I'm a stepper's anonymous. Yeah, I'm proud to say that I'm a stepper's anonymous. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm proud to say I'm a stepper's